Today's show, as always, sponsored by LivasaIslandApparel.com for gear that represents the South Pacific Island languages and cultures accurately and responsibly. Put on for the culture. Catch the wave at LivasaIslandApparel.com. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Ballinesian podcast. Free agency is upon us in the NFL. We definitely got a lot to talk about. Sponsored, as always, by Livasa Island Apparel, www.livasailandapparel.com. Definitely check out the website. Forrest, do you have the discount code that people can use at livasailandapparel.com?
I sure do. So if you go to check out, don't forget to use AIGA20, AIGA20. When you go to check out, you get your discount. There's a lot of great stuff on there. He's got a new hoodie series, Love and Light, the floral stuff going on. Stuff is great, man. If you don't have one already, I don't know what you're doing, man.
Yo, definitely check out the website. Use that promo code AIGA20, AIGA20. And also, check them out this summer at 4 Days of Aloha in Vancouver, Washington, for Levasa's return to the Pacific Northwest. It's definitely going to be exciting. This is the Ballinesian podcast. I'm joined by Forrest Odelau, Mike Fiso. I am Lance Falatono. Again, free agency week. We are, the legal tampering period is now open. And the league year starts this Wednesday at 1 o'clock Pacific time, where all these deals that are coming through in the early window will be kind of officialized and able to be signed. Mike, the tampering period is open. What was, I feel like, the biggest free agency signing that has happened already that's been announced?
The biggest one? Personally, for me, I believe that Saquon, Philadelphia Eagles. We were just talking about this in the pre-chat, but Tiki Barber, if everybody didn't catch that, he went in on Saquon talking about, how dare you go to our rivals?
Mm-hmm.
But the reports have been that the Giants have never even offered Saquon Barkley. So it's like, why are you
mad at him?
To a team that they don't sound like they don't want you?
But how dare you sign with another team and not sign with us for what's less money?
Exactly.
Jones, $40 million.
Oh,
what?
A year.
That's gonna do it to them, and so I think him going there is gonna be huge. They have Jason Kelce, he retired, so there's a hole in the center, but I feel like the Eagles' priority is to get that line straight. And I think that Saquon going to the Eagles kind of takes some pressure off of, what's his name, Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
You do less tush pushes if you're just scoring the rock from the 6.
Yeah.
That's 1,400 pounds of squatting together in that backfield.
I know.
Nice. It's a read option.
There's gonna be some squat battles, maybe.
Do you think it's sacrilege or blasphemous for someone to sign with a rival, or is it just got to get the bag? It's free agency, and like you said, the Giants not forking up the money. I think it was $12.1 million a year for the franchise tag for running backs, but they didn't want to do that.
They didn't franchise him either. No, exactly. And they were looking to get rid of him before that, once he got injured. And there was so much talk about him leaving, and then, like Mike said, they didn't even offer him anything yet in free agency. I think they were really trying to they were trying to play him. They were thinking, oh man, no one's gonna offer him more than the 12. He's gonna have to take that.
Lots of running backs on the market,
right? And then the Eagles are like, well, you know what? We value him,
and we don't want you to have him.
Right? We actually think he's pretty good. And then Tiki Barber and his mediocre ass won two lucky Super Bowls, one lucky Super Bowl.
What exactly did he say? You're dead to me? You're dead to us?
Bro. And the bad thing about it was, so I was like, bro, you were a hater since I got here when they drafted me.
Oh, I just saw the response. Yeah. You've been a hater since I got to New York, and all the dead to me talk, don't smile in my face when you see it. Okay.
Weird, man.
So it's beef.
That's weird. Weirdo.
It's because Tiki Barber never hit free agency and got offered contracts for people.
He's not
Quadzilla.
So they're weird.
The Giants running back Saquon Barkley is now the Eagles running back. I feel like a lot of running backs have switched teams. Um, Forrest, what deal stands out so far to you? These aren't official yet; they have to be signed soon, but a lot of them are being announced.
Bro, if you don't already know, the Frankie Luvu signing with the Washington Commanders, big signing, man. Personal because Frankie is a friend of the show. He's also family, so so glad to see him get paid. I would have loved to see him. Of course, everybody has their bias. Everybody wanted to see people wanted to see him in Seattle because he went to school out at Wazoo. He's got ties to Washington. It's pretty much home for him. A lot of Steelers fans were, man, and that's what I love about Saquon people. You put out a report and they don't read the whole report. Some people really thought he had signed already with the Steelers.
Oh, what?
It was the Steelers report, and it read that he signed with the. It read, "Welcome our new linebacker signing," and then he said at the bottom, "It's been talked about that he may sign with the Steelers." So, Steeler fans were ready to welcome him. That's cool. There were talks of him going to Dallas, and then also again staying in Carolina, where he's really built himself a brand out in Carolina. So it's tough they didn't get to work out a deal because he's loved there and he loves the community. But
for sure,
he got the money that he deserved, probably just a little less than a lot of us think he deserved. But it's a $36 million total deal. So he's not guaranteed the whole 36, but at the end of the deal, if he hits, I don't know if there's incentives to the deal. They haven't put out details yet or anything like that. But at the end of his 3 years, it should have totaled $36 million. So that's, I mean, if you're going to put a value on him money-wise, 36 is pretty good. I think maybe 42, but I don't own $42 million to give to Frankie. So that's the personal one. But I think the real big signing, it's not really a signing, it was the trade for Brian Burns going to the Giants. Now they have 3 really great people to anchor that line. They got already Thibodeau there on the end, Dexter Lawrence in the middle, and now him to play on the other end. So the Giants were pretty good defensively last year. I know it didn't look like it because they were on the field most of the time because their offense wasn't that great, but they had a pretty solid defense last year, and this only makes them a lot more solid. And I don't know if anybody really saw that either coming, the trade with the Giants for Brian Burns, because
second round and a 6th round pick,
right? And Carolina had just franchised him. So
transition tag, yep.
Yeah, it really looked like he was going to stay and maybe play that 1 year, and then maybe they were going to try to trade him during the year, maybe. But man, right off the bat, there was a lot of movement today. I think that's big for them because, also big on the other side because it looks like Carolina is piecing apart their defense that they had last year, which held them together throughout the season, a 2-win season, which was tough. But it looks like they're really deconstructing their defense to retool their offense. They signed the right guard from the Dolphins. They signed him to who was I think top 5 guards in the offseason. I'm not sure about like the whole NFL, but as a free agent, he was a top 5 guard. So offensive line is something the Panthers needed. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna go after a receiver. I mean, hey, T. Higgins just asked for a trade.
Yeah.
Also, no one's replying to that, but
because he got a franchise tag. That's 2 first-round picks.
Hey,
they're like, why don't you stay in Cincinnati for 1 more year?
Stay in here, and we'll come get you. It's
gonna be awkward,
right?
It's gonna be awkward for a couple more months. Come on, just be professional about this, please.
But yeah, New York. I think they're going defensive with their offseason. So that's a pretty big one because Brian Burns is young. He had a kind of a fall off last season, but that's because the defense as a whole in Carolina, they had injuries. Shaq Thompson was gone. They lost J.C. Horn. That Jeremy Chin was out for a while. Frankie was out for like 2 games. So he was holding it down for a long time. Like, I mean, especially with Brian Burns leaving.
to the Giants, I was like, oh, nice. So that's gonna be a lot of money,
right?
So they could pay Frankie, and then they gave 63 million guaranteed to the linemen, and I was like, I don't know. And then immediately we saw the Frankie signing to the Commanders. So definitely shout out to him.
Yeah,
you can tell how important he was to the Panthers team if you go into the comments and you see all the Panther fans like, this is bullshit. Like,
right.
We have money. We should sign this guy back. People are mad.
Outraged.
So definitely the Commanders in DC got a good one, got a good player with a great engine, and he's going to be fired up and fire up.
Yeah. Frankie Luvu fans are happy. He got playing for a good defense. Carolina fans are hurt.
They're going to give up like 500 points a game.
Bro.
They just signed another guard. They signed Seahawks guard Damian Lewis to
and that's what I'm saying. They're really trying to protect. They had an asset last year that they drafted number 1, and now they have to protect him.
They didn't have the infrastructure for him to succeed first year, so they got to start building that.
Yeah, and they can't go into next year not trying to have him succeed because, one, it's like having somebody throw pie on your face, and it's like,
it's like Justin Herbert. It's like having Justin Herbert for 4 cost-controlled rookie contract years and shitting them all away.
That's not even that bad because Justin Herbert was able to come out. He's able to come out. The years he's had personally, his stats way better than Young. Not to say that Young can't have those stats. It's just 2 different quarterbacks. And he needs something different.
Do you think it's because he's short?
Man, it's hard because
I was gonna say, linemen are big as fuck. Like,
they are, but
it's like 7 steps backwards.
Drew Brees did it. Doug Flutie did it for a little bit. Kyler Murray, even though he's a little,
Tua has said too, like, I'm not tall enough to see over these guys, so I kind of got to move around more so I could see like through the gaps or like be prepared more. But I'm just worried. I mean, we're always going to compare him to CJ Stroud. They're great friends.
Sure.
They're picked a pick apart. They're quarterbacks. But I mean, especially with the success that CJ had taking the Texans to the playoffs, and then the total opposite for Bryce Young in that they freaking had the worst record in the league, and they don't even get the pick. They traded the pick for him last year.
Bryce Young played in the SEC. It's not the NFL. Closest thing to college in the NFL. He had an offensive line at Alabama that was about the same size as the offensive line now. He had giants in front of him. He did it there. I'm pretty confident he can do it in the NFL. He's just,
when you mentioned that given $100 million contract, $63 million guaranteed was to protect Young, I was thinking, you would spend more of that money on like offensive tackles, protect the edge, give him more time. But I mean, if your line is really bad, you got to find good players, right? Or at least big guys.
Right. Inside
guards, then tackles.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, everybody wants to say that your left tackle should be getting the most money on your team, but that's true. But also, you have to figure out their scheme-wise, like their line, how they're going to run their lines, because every offense or type of offense has a different formation, or the way their linemen line up, or even the way they shuffle their feet or pass protection, all different. So, right now they're starting from the interior. They had drafted an offensive tackle who's playing left tackle for them. I'm not going to butcher his name on here, but he's still there. I think he's into his 2nd year or 3rd year, so he's still there. I think they're set at on the outside for now. So
interesting to see what new coach Dave Canales has decided.
He's an offensive guy. Yeah, he's an offensive guy.
So we can see that giving up all the defensive players, definitely some of our favorites and Frankie and fan favorites like Brian Burns, who's been a freaking beast. But if it works out and secures like a functioning offense in the long term, it might be worth it. Talking about offenses that need to function in the short term, the Pittsburgh Steelers has been reported agreed to terms on a 1-year deal with Russell Wilson, former Broncos and Steelers quarterback. It felt super rushed. Like he hopped on a plane. I think he took a visit with the Giants real quick, but then he went and talked to Mike Tomlin and their GM, and they decided, they wanted to sign him before he leaves the building. I'll look up the exact terms unless one of you guys have it, but
1 year, $1.12 million. The league, that's why they rushed it, because anyone would pay that to have Russell Wilson on their team.
Anyone too, but I also think that he personally wanted to stick it to Denver, and so getting that deal done, he was probably just like, you know what are you offering?
I mean, that's a perk. That's a perk that he has for just this year, right? Because he's guaranteed $39 million from the Broncos.
Yep.
So if he made more than anything he makes more than I think the veterans minimum, kind of gets refunded back to the Broncos.
Yep.
And none of us want that, right? None of us want the Broncos to have more money to spend. You stay in your dithering ways.
Right.
So definitely Russell was able to walk into different, team buildings and be like, hey, I mean, I might have had a down year or anything like that, but I am only going to cost $1.12 million when the top quarterbacks in the league are making over $50 million a year. That is definitely something you have to consider just as like a roster piece that, like, if you can spend $1 million and get a starting quarterback, that's more than, that's less than backup. That's less than backup quarterbacks be making. Like, so to get, 1 year as a starter of Russell Wilson for only $1 million, I see why the Steelers did it. Mike, as a former, I guess, are you a current Russell Wilson fan? Or did you say former once he left your team?
I was thankful for what he did, and if he wanted out, I'm not gonna fucking beg you to stay, motherfucker. Get out. I am too proud to beg. All right.
What would you think is like Russell's plan here? Do you think it's a long-term thing with the Steelers? Do you think it's a 1-year audition? Do you think he's kind of feels himself getting pushed out of the league and needed an emergency home or something? What's going on in Russell's camp, do you think?
I personally think that for the Steelers, he picked the Steelers because he already knows that it's not a competition. Like, I don't think it's a competition. Him or Kenny Pickett, really. If I'm Russ, I'm just launching moonballs all day down the line. We have
George Pickens,
Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, like guys that like to run the scene but really couldn't because people couldn't get them the ball. So I think that the Steelers, they're like, why not? Let's take a chance. Worst case scenario, we pay a guy $1 million and just sit there. Personally, I think that the Steeler fans are going to hate him, just kind of knowing how that fan base is, hardworking, blue collar town. And Rush is all bougie and shit. Like, he works in Seattle. Might work in Denver. Obviously, didn't really, but yeah, in Pittsburgh, he's going to have to not talk so much. So that would be my advice to him. Just stop talking. Just keep playing. Don't say no corny shit. Nobody wants to hear that.
Just play your $1 million contract.
Yeah, keep all your coaches at home. You don't get an office.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. So he asked for an office at the Broncos facility, like a special office for him, not just a quarterback room.
When Hackett was the coach, he had one. And then he had his own friend be like a coach, not on the staff, but he pays him to be there because they paid him all this money. So he's just trickling it down. Wow. And that didn't really sit well with any of the people on his team or the organization.
Hey, look, I'm not mad at it because I would have been the friend. Hey, man, hire me, man.
Hey,
no, but I
think specialist.
Yeah. I also saw that he no family was allowed at training camp except for Russell Wilson's. That stuff started to really rub everybody the wrong way, and then it all fell apart when Sean Payton got there, and he was like, "I hate this guy."
He just goes right back into players owning part of a team. Do things like that good? No, I'm just kidding.
What do you guys think? We'll start with Forrest. What do you think the win total for the Pittsburgh Steelers is this year? Out of 17 games, if Russell plays all 17.
I think their problems are a lot more than Russell Wilson.
It's better than Kenny Pickett, though, right? And Kenny
that's
Pickett
true.
Did he get up to the playoffs?
You still have Mr. I'm not paid to block, catch. You know, what I mean, like
Oh, who's that?
George
Pickens?
Pickens.
Yeah.
These
And then
guys.
that Jalen Warren blocked for George Pickens like
Right.
the very next
That
week.
sprung him for a
He's like,
touchdown.
I'll block for you, motherfucker.
Nice.
Yeah, Jalen Warren, he's in there.
Shout out to Jalen Warren, man, and that's what Pittsburgh people like to see. Guys that are gonna go out there and give everything. Like, of course, that's what you're paid to do. I get it. Catch, to catch the ball from the quarterback, score touchdowns, but in there to play football. Blocking is part of football, especially if you're part of a team. Dickhead. No, but win total, I'll say 9 wins.
Yeah, I was gonna say 10, and then I went down to 9. Just thinking about it.
You guys are.
I mean, I'm just thinking like right, because like if they made the playoffs this year with no quarterback play,
right.
Russell is at least some quarterback play.
He's still
feel
got
like
talent
that's
in the backfield.
And there's still that defense, mostly.
Right.
I would think, but
right. And free agency isn't done, so defense could definitely get better.
Draft.
And so he's got Freiermuth. Again, the 2 receivers you just named. He still has the 2 backs in the backfield. Offensive line isn't bad, so he's in a lot better situation than I think he was in Denver.
Isaac Somalo in there, hell yeah.
Isaac, yeah.
Mike, if you had to guess, knowing Russell, if he started all the games, how many wins would you give the Steelers next year?
Well, I'm gonna go like 7.5. Yeah, I'd like you said, I don't think that's the whole, like, the Steelers' problem isn't that. Even though they went to the playoffs this year, I don't know. I think Mike Tomlin, he's gonna have a down year. He pulled the most out of that team that he had last year.
For sure.
Like, they went 110%, way farther than anyone was ever gonna give him credit for. But I'm not sure he can recreate that magic. Plugging in Russ. Let's see. I don't know. He wasn't throwing over the middle at all in Denver, which is kind of a problem. When you see that in the defense, it's like, all right, we'll just keep everything outside. And so we'll see. But I think like 7 or 8 wins is gonna.
Yeah, definitely not over 5. Well, I guess 9 and 8 would be just over 500, but not double-digit wins or anything like that. Not super high expectations, unless you ask a Steelers fan, who then would tell you that Russell Wilson's going to win another Super Bowl, maybe 2 in the next 2 years, or something crazy like that.
Man, 9 and 8. That's funny because literally it could be 9 and 9 if the league goes to 18 games.
Oh my gosh. I remember that blew my mind. I'm like, the competition committee and all the rules and stuff, the kickoff rule that they might try. Those rules are going to get voted on at the owners meeting here soon. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of changes in free agency, a lot of changes in some of the rules that are happening. And then we're going to see a bunch of new faces from the draft. It's going to be exciting year, exciting time, NFL offseason. Another big signing, the Atlanta Falcons agreed to terms with former Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins. Kirko Bangs, this fool. What is it, a 4-year, $180 million contract? Oh, my God.
Hey, you know what? It's not even his fault because every time the quarterback market gets reset,
he has another contract.
He's right there. He's right there, always.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's the only
that thing you said about
oh yeah. So in that post, it says that he stands to make $411 million from the first contract that he signed to this one.
$329 million of that has been fully guaranteed. Kirk Cousins has been timing the market right again and again and again. After a 2012 rookie contract, he got new contracts. I think franchise tags, back-to-back franchise tags, new team contracts, new team extensions in 2016, 2017, 2018, 2020, 2022, and now 2024. So definitely take the shorter contracts, guys.
Right.
Take the shorter contracts and re-up. You're going to be...
And we get it for everybody who's going to say, well, he's been to one playoff game. He's never... But he in the regular season, he's been pretty good when he's on the field because he's had some injuries and he's coming off of one now, which is a pretty significant injury, torn Achilles. But when he's on the field, he's been pretty reliable. He's been pretty good, more than good.
Yeah.
He's actually, he wins.
I feel like he's never gotten to like that physically elite top of the top, but he's definitely a great, good, consistent quarterback.
Right.
That you can kind of count on. I mean, definitely has his problems sometimes, limitations for sure. But
I think Cam Newton would call him the best game manager ever in the game.
Bank manager.
I said best bank roll.
No, yeah, but he's good. If had the Raiders made a move for Kirk Cousins, I wouldn't have been mad because I know they'd still be looking to get someone younger in. It would also give Aiden O'Connell time to sit behind an established quarterback with skills in the league. So
I feel like if you start young, it's tough to go back into the bench and kind of sit for a long time behind. If like if Kirk Cousins went to the Raiders for $45 million a year, you'd be cool with that?
Yeah.
I think so much.
It is. Hey, I mean, we're paying Minshew right now. It's
yeah.
Year.
Wait, whoa, 25. I thought that was 25 total.
25
years starting quarterback.
No, 25 total.
Oh shit! I thought Gardner Minshew was starting for the Raiders.
15 guaranteed though.
Okay, so like at least a year. Guaranteed. If they do cut him next year, then maybe owe him a couple more million. I thought $25 million a year is
no. That would have emptied out.
I think that's Geno Smith.
There's no way. Yeah, Minshew's I think like the 30th highest paid. I don't even know if it's player or quarterback, but I know he's at like number 30 on the list for quarterbacks in their contracts. So, but like, yeah,
in Atlanta though, is it worth it for Atlanta to give $45 million a year to Kirk Cousins after
he's better than Ritter,
Marcus Mariota?
Yeah, I mean,
for
sure. I'm not gonna say he's better than Marcus. I'll never say that.
No.
You can't.
Heisman Trophy winner.
Right. I'm not gonna say that. I seen Marcus run past DBs on a 78-yard run in college, 90. So no, he's not better than Marcus, but is he gonna start? Yes. Marcus isn't there, by the way. He's not in Atlanta anymore. So,
you got all these cheap guys there, so why not roll the dice?
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Somebody
he's got weapons.
He will get you to the playoffs.
Right.
That is a fact. What happens in the playoffs,
that's it. That's up to the rest of the team.
Flip, but he'll get you there. Like they have Bijan on a rookie deal, London Drake on a rookie deal. They also have Tyler Algier, who's pretty cheap.
Kyle Pitts still.
What if he becomes that dude now because he has someone to get him the ball?
I doubt it.
If the ball at least makes it around his hands, I'm sure that's gonna boost his catch percentage because I've seen some shit just way over his head, wide open. They've definitely shown those low lights.
We're definitely going to see a different Atlanta offense next year, a whole different team, since they don't have the imposter of a head coach in Arthur Smith there anymore.
Yeah. FedExed out of there.
Go drive a FedEx truck, my guy. Now? Yeah, Patriots. Go drive a FedEx truck, bro.
Steelers?
Is Steelers?
I think he went to.
Yeah. Go see for the Steelers. You're right. So him and Russ, baby.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God! They're gonna get. I mean, they already got running backs, right? So they don't need to sign like Derrick Henry or.
Yeah, are they gonna use them though?
It's gonna be wild. Atlanta. That's a really good point. All of these superstar skill players are still on their rookie deals. Pitts, London, Robinson, and then I think I read they have 3 first rounders on their offensive line. So those guys. So it should be a really good situation for Kirk Cousins, and they're also in the NFC South, which had like a freaking 8-9 playoff team.
Great.
Win the division. Like the last 3 years in a row, it's been not the greatest competition. So, Falcons look to be on the up and up, and gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think the most intriguing thing about him going there is like his personality, because Atlanta is like a black mecca. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I knew Russell wasn't going to go there because Future. Pretty big there. So, like, can you imagine Kirk Cousins hanging out with Future? Wouldn't that be like the funniest thing ever?
Bro, you haven't seen pictures of him when they gave him the chain, man?
Kirk no chains, man. I mean,
that's what I'm
you could, like, it's like his personality is like the kind of like goofy. Not really with the culture, but
square white man,
respected. He's respectable about it.
Straight country boy. Yeah.
Oh, definitely in the quarterback Netflix series when they were showing him, he was like, "I don't pick my clothes. My wife just puts on a shirt for me. I don't have time to really think about that. I'm just focused on football." I was like,
cash, baby.
Yeah. They were like, I saw like
that's
all the Atlanta area Coles need to be like upping their stock because it's about to get all bought out. Ice cold Kirk Cousins.
I seen somebody said that Steelers fans and players are going to be hella mad when they're down by 30. And Russell Wilson grabs everybody to start singing, "Our God is an awesome God."
Like, dude,
it's not the time for that.
He's like, wait. Let's switch it to 1-2 step. Gotta get my girls' plays up.
Shit. Hey, it's funny though, because like a lot of the reports out of Denver is that he's like so toxic in the locker room, but I don't see too many players voicing that. I know he's bougie. Of course he's bougie. He's married to Sierra. How are you not bougie? He's also probably eccentric because he looks like he doesn't like. He looks like he likes stuff not too many people like. Like he's not like a weirdo. One that we'd be like, yeah, we're just a weirdo. Like, interesting.
I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like he's like a good dude, or is he just like trying to portray an example of
maybe like
dude?
Because he's so good, like it kind of sometimes seems fabricated or unauthentic.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot like NFL locker rooms have a lot of strong personalities. So if people felt some type of way, they would just tell him to his face, probably really loudly in an angry manner. But like I feel like he wouldn't say shit.
Right. Because he's just like, man,
God bless.
I'll pray for you.
Yeah. Also, why I think
thank you for your honesty.
With the Raiders,
you're fired.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he would have fit in the Raiders locker room.
I saw. I think it was Saquon Raider, the Ninth Island, when they posted the Gardner Minshew signing to the Raiders. They were like, "All right, so we signed Gardner Minshew. Hopefully, this little ass boy helps us out." I was like, "Oh, I forgot about Max Crosby.
Max Crosby, little ass boy." Hell yeah!
And now they're teammates. But they're I think the NFL or Mic'd Up did like a reel where they was like they caught Max Crosby, called him a little ass boy like 3 times, and then they cut to the sideline and Gardner Minshew's just talking to one of his teammates. He's so angry. I don't know what's going on. He's calling me a little ass boy. Like
I think they're gonna become best friends.
It's so funny though because
they're gonna be a boost.
Other fans are like, "Whoa, what's up now? What's up with that? Max Crosby now he's on your team." Like, duh, that's how
now we're friends.
Right? When you're on the other side of the ball, I'm gonna talk some shit. When you're on my team, all right, little boy, let's do this.
Right. Exactly, that's how it's gonna go. So funny, man. Paul.
I'm actually worried about Gardner because he is a very out there personality, and him in Vegas. I don't want like a crazy situation. Like I can just imagine like pictures of Gardner passed out butt ass naked like on the street. Just like,
well, I mean,
is Minshew a partier?
He was. Yeah, we haven't heard.
Oh, it
Wazoo legend.
Exactly. He went to. Yeah, exactly. He went to. That's like that was. Wazoo has always been in the top 5 party schools in America for years. So,
did he play with Frankie?
No, he's a little older. Oh, no, I think his last year there was like, you know what? We'll have to look that up.
Remember Minshew putting that mustache on Mike Leach?
Hey, man.
Mike.
All right.
Yeah. Minshew and Aiden O'Connell are going to have mustache parties.
Yo, okay. I did not think that the Raiders would be signing a quarterback. I thought they would try to do something in the draft, but definitely
they got Christian Wilkins too, right?
He's a beast.
Oh man. Okay, let's talk about our teams. Raiders, what do you guys got? Christian Wilkins, who I kind of was hoping for like the Chargers would make a move for to shore up their D line, but do you guys need a defensive lineman? You guys let go of Jerry Tillery or something?
We did go with Jerry Tillery, but we know that any signing we make is going to be better than whatever the Chargers do. So, but yeah, I'm just kidding. I think I love your team, man. Sometimes, but
15 weeks a season.
I think they're forming the team and what AP wants to do as the head coach. All the sensitive people who were hurt about the Mahomes rules, the Jordan rules comment that he made, they were like, "Oh my God," and then
don't hurt the quarterback,
right? Like, okay, well, why not? Not like go up there and like essentially rip his leg off, but of course we're gonna try to get your quarterback. But I think that's Christian. Imagine Christian Wilkins in the middle, Max Crosby on the end. You got young Tyree coming into his own. He was fighting his way towards the end of the season. Malcolm Coombs on the end, who really came on this season. They've had him on the roster for. He was originally a safety coming out of Virginia Tech. They drafted him with thoughts of turning him into a linebacker, which he became, and ended up a defensive end. And he broke out last season. So I hope Herbert's legs are good. I hope Mahomes' legs are good because, man, somebody said that Max Crosby is about to have 95 sacks next season.
Christian Wilkins is definitely going to free Max Crosby up.
Yes, he's never played with anybody like that.
Oh, I think my
You're back.
My internet's tripping. Christian Wilkins, let me read this. 4 years, $110 million, $84.75 million guaranteed. So what is that? At least 3 years before you could cut him? Or you could cut him. I mean, probably wouldn't want to. He's a really good
and
interior defensive lineman.
People were just like, especially Dolphins fans, were like trying to put out facts like, "Oh, you guys signed this guy, but our other defensive tackle did it." And I was like,
he did all the work.
That's what I was like, bro, you guys definitely don't watch football.
It's like a monster. Shut your mouth.
I know, like they were, and then you have Rainfield. Oh, we might have overpaid. I mean, what did you guys want them to do? What were you hoping them to overpay for? A quarterback in the draft that we're never going to get because no one wants to trade their first 3 picks because they want a quarterback. So logical thing to do is fix his new Christian?
Oh, Knicks.
No, hell no. No, hell no.
Penix.
I would take Penix over
bro, he has the nice
Knicks
football.
But please don't ever call him Penix.
Penix energy.
No, yeah.
And then he's left-handed. Every time I see him, I'm like, oh shit, lefty.
But I mean, there's still options.
Yeah,
I think the Raiders could still make a play. I personally like Justin Fields and his value, his trade value, not his value on the field, because I think he's a great quarterback. The value that he has in trade right now keeps going down. So people are really like 2nd, 3rd round pick. Now people are really talking 4th, 5th round pick for him in a trade because no one's really biting anymore, and people are getting, roles are starting to be filled. Atlanta was a team that people were hoping, or well, at least Fields' team was hoping that he'd be in that position that Kirk Cousins is in right now, but they went a different way. So,
that means Justin Fields isn't going to Atlanta,
right?
So he's still out there. Yeah.
The Wilkins pick for the Raiders, love it. They signed Minshew. I like it. He is a better quarterback than Garoppolo at this point in Garoppolo's career. He's a better quarterback than AOC at this point in AOC's career. We've seen Minshew play. He can win games. He's also, I think, scheme-wise, he's athletic. He's serviceably athletic. Like, he can move.
He's a good white boy.
Yeah. He can move.
Minshew got that magic. Magic.
And he can throw. So I like it. I like both signings that they made today. Actually, all 3. No, 2. They signed Andre James last night, or yesterday. He signed. You don't have to go out and get a center now. And Andre James, if we're going by stats, you go by stats, he's gotten better every year since they drafted him. So
I think they also re-signed Amir Abdullah.
That's. I mean, if I like it because he's been really great third down back, but you re-sign him, I would have liked that they signed Josh Jacobs and then just kept that crew there. But I guess they see a lot in Zeus that they can. They weren't going to pay him the money that Green Bay paid Josh Jacobs. I can tell you that they definitely weren't going to pay him that money. So.
What was, how much did he get from Green Bay? You said he got a bag, yeah?
He did. I think it was like I want to say like I think it was more than 30.
Nice.
Yeah,
but 30 a year.
Oh hell no, yeah, no. Oh man, you're smoking that. Whoever picked him up for that, smoking crack. But I'm hoping that because again, the way they want to bully people, I'm hoping that they make a run at Henry. And that would be a good pairing with Zeus and Henry. You know, Thunder and Lightning. It'd be nice.
Yeah. I like that.
Nice. Yeah.
And it's like he's like a bang him up running back, and
right.
Like the Raiders rebranding, like not rebranding, but like going back to who they used to be.
Yeah.
That's a solid.
I mean, I can remember the days that Tyrone Wheatley used to run all over San Diego Chargers.
Tyrone Wheatley.
Damn. Yeah. You know, Tyrone Wheatley, he would just, gosh, what a beast of a man.
What number did he wear?
Was it 47?
47?
47.
Man. Bro,
he get run over by someone wearing 47.
Oh, dude. You know what I mean? And you look up and you're like, oh, I thought I was on. I thought I was like, it's
is this special teams?
Yeah, what the hell? The up back catch the kickoff.
What's on here?
Nice. So okay, so the Raiders making moves, definitely got some big ones with Wilkins and bringing in a quarterback with Minshew. Seahawks. Mike, what has Seattle been doing? Mike McDonald, first off season there. What's going on?
Everything is changing. Ooh. I think that we're gonna have a new offense, like scheme and everything, new defense. Unfortunately, Seahawks had to say goodbye today to some people that I really enjoyed on our team. Uncle Will Dissly, he ended up going to the Chargers.
Yeah, tight end.
I'm actually happy for him.
I feel bad for him.
Shut up.
He's a solid tight end. He's good at blocking. He went to UW, so it's like a hometown hero.
Oh, gotcha.
But sad to see him go. Jordan Brooks also signed with the Miami Dolphins for a deal that I thought that we could afford as the Seahawks, but I guess we're trying to go in like a completely different direction. I don't know if we're still trying to get any of the Ravens linebackers, specifically Patrick Queen. I honestly am not sure if like he's that much of an upgrade over Jordan Brooks. I don't know his injury history, but I know Jordan Brooks has been injured a couple times, a lot. So,
but now with Brooks gone, you guys have that spot.
Would it be bad to have somebody as good as Jordan Brooks there? So
yeah, I mean he was like leading the league in tackles when Bobby Wagner was out. And then last year, Bobby came back and then led the league in tackles again. But, you know, it's that extra game, really.
Yeah.
That's inflating all these stats.
You guys signed Noah Fant?
Yeah, Noah Fant was to replace Dissly.
Hey.
So it's like still reeling in on that deal from the Broncos. Thank you. We also signed Leonard Williams, you know, which I thought was interesting because the Giants, like, I feel like Leonard Williams, Brian Burns, they're like very close in like what they do. And we traded a second and a fifth for Leonard Williams, and then they traded a second and a fifth for Brian Burns. And they gave him $150 million or that big old extension, whatever. So I'm like, what are they thinking over there? Like, you want to pay this man, but you don't want to pay your running back and a safety? Like, okay, sweet.
Like, we'll take that too.
And it's only like 21.5 a year, so it's not like back breaking the bank or anything like that.
I think Bosa makes like 28 a year.
Yeah, so
as the top,
he can produce though.
Yeah,
I think he didn't have like a great time while on the Seahawks last year because still getting used to like scheme and stuff, but now it's like a fresh start. Everybody's learning the new shit, so hopefully they all like bring it all together, and hopefully that.
Yeah, I would say he's probably the best all around interior defensive lineman. He could also play on the outside, but like all around, I think he's probably the better defensive lineman in the league right now.
Better than Wilkins?
All around, yes. Wilkins is probably a better pass rusher, but Williams, he really good against the run. He can fill those gaps. He can also get after the quarterback if you need him to. He can pop outside, play a little bit defensive end because that's what he played at USC. So yeah, as a like a utility tool, yeah, he's probably better than Christian Wilkins, but as a superstar, this is again, no one's better than Christian Wilkins. But I like I like the Lynn. I was hoping that the Raiders would have surprised everybody and be like, "Hey, we're signing Leonard Williams." That would have been cool.
Okay, we're gonna have the nastiest line ever.
Yo, Williams, Wilkins, and Crosby.
Yeah.
Ugh, that would have been
That's crazy.
Yeah. I really want to see the Raiders record the first interaction between Gardner Minshew and Max Crosby at practice.
They have to. They have to make that a practice.
Hey, I was just talking shit.
You should pick him up.
Yo! Gardner should pick Max up.
Oh, no, I was saying Max pick Gardner up.
Hey, little ass quarterback.
Put him on his shoulder.
They should grow the same mustache.
Oh.
Yeah, that's going to be great. It's going to be fun. It's going to be content.
Josh Jacobs is for 4 years. He's getting $48 million from the Green Bay Packers.
And you said 30-something guaranteed?
Yo, I don't know if any other team was willing to pay him that money.
40 over 4 years?
Yeah.
48 over 4 years, so $12 million.
Yeah.
That sosounds like
that's his market.
Tag.
That's his market, but I don't know if anybody was willing to pay it.
Especially for 4 years, right?
Yeah.
Maybe for 1 year on a franchise tag, or maybe a short-term deal that you could work out.
And that's what he was looking for ultimately. I think he was looking for a long-term deal. So
security, guaranteed money.
Yeah.
I feel like that's usually what it is. Like T. Higgins, we talked about him being franchise tagged for, was it $21.8 million in 2024? But I think he asked for a trade because he wants long-term guarantees and like that security that
he can get paid.
He's earned
beyond that,
tens of millions of dollars and not have to worry about doing this all over again the next year. What if I get injured and never sign another contract? Then I'm stuck with just, so definitely getting that long-term guarantee.
I thought Jacobs was going to end up in Dallas.
Oh, because Pollard left, right? They let Pollard go?
Pollard just signed with
Titans.
Yep.
So it was like all the Tajay Spears dynasty owners after Derrick Henry left, they were like, RB1 season for Spears. And then they signed Pollard immediately and they were like, the same type of running back.
That's funny.
We'll see how it goes. Because definitely, I feel like Tajay Spears has some like movement, like he can go.
Well, that was during the season they were talking about him gradually taking over the starting spot from Derrick Henry. And so,
So why sign a running back immediately after?
Because people are still buying into the running back by committee. And with what Pollard did last year, they feel like they can sign him and
for a deal.
Sign him for a deal and not like force him into the starting spot, or like maybe he doesn't expect to be in the starting spot, so he's going to come in there and work anyway. And at the end of that deal, they get 2 good running backs. That's the focus. Or that's the thought process with them, I believe.
I'm always thinking about how these contracts fit into each team's kind of like overall salary cap, and then they've also got to project for the future, not only for this year, but what's our cap going to look like next year? Who's going to have a big chunk of it? Who are we going to have to cut and stuff like that? So that really does fascinate me as far as like the bookkeeping for NFL. I guess all sports really, but
if this offseason is any indicator, nobody is safe. People shouldn't. Joe Mixon.
Released.
Yeah, released.
They signed somebody right away, right after.
Oh, did they? Because
Oh my god!
Green Bay signs Josh Jacobs and then cuts to Aaron Jones.
And now Aaron Jones is out there. Austin
Yeah.
Eckler is out there.
Austin.
Derrick Henry's out there.
No.
Oh no! Austin Eckler got signed
Yeah.
to the Commanders.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So
Yeah, good for them. Or
yeah.
good for him. So Chargers free agency signings did get tight end Will Disley for the Seahawks. I think that does really fit into that kind of expectation that Greg Roman is going to be the full-on offensive coordinator and doing his style, which I've seen so many posts about the numbers and like the differences between the passing and the running for Greg Roman offenses. And it's like first in the league in rushing attempts, 29th in the league in pass attempts, second in the league in rushing attempts, 32nd in the league in passing attempts. And I'm like, oh my God, is this just because he didn't have a good quarterback? And I'm like, he had to work with Colin Kaepernick, early Lamar Jackson. So maybe not the thrower that Justin Herbert can be when he's healthy. I hate that too. Justin Herbert's becoming one of those good when he's healthy kind of guys because every year it's something. But this is also the first year of Justin Herbert's big money extension. So he's becoming a bigger part of the team's cap. So they're going to have to figure out how to do stuff. They brought in Disley, who I've seen play for the Seahawks, and think that blocking is also going to help because we got Gerald Everett, who's not a blocker, and Donald Parham, who's 7 feet tall, hard to block, hard to be a blocker.
Shit.
He's a red zone, just put his hands up and catch shit by the freaking uprights. So definitely getting a tight end there that knows what he's doing in the blocking game, the running game. I'm sure that appeals to Harbaugh and Roman. And then Gus Edwards from the Ravens. Signed to a 2-year deal. I'm not sure if the details have come out for Gus Edwards yet, but definitely a strong north-south running back. I know in the chat you mentioned like a goal line running back, so we can stop messing around and freaking running quarterback sneaks or getting stuffed inside the 5-yard line. Gus Edwards has been very successful with that. I'm not sure how much of the threat of Lamar Jackson taking off on the read option has kind of helps that. But he's had plenty of like multi-touchdown games, just kind of riding the pushing the pile into the end zone. So hopefully if we're gonna go, big time running, power running, and then open up the play action for the strong arm to try to throw it downfield and beat the defense, these are 2 great sightings so far. So it's more like a culture than, trying to pay. Like J.C. Jackson, when we gave him like a multi-year contract, it felt like a Hail Mary, really. Like the GM was like, well, let's sign a big name because people want big names. And it's like, you found out fucking 20 games later, he really didn't fit, and you had to trade him away for a late round pick. That was embarrassing.
Released him.
Right. They released him.
So he must not be good. Like, you just give away to somebody who sucked.
You guys Gus
Mr. Interception? I'm like, oh, no. You just got lucky.
He dropped interception. I just see that Gus Edwards, is for short yardage success rate last year, he was number 4 in the league, and Austin Eckler was number 30. So definitely is a.
You guys are gonna have him for a good 2 games.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Oh, wow.
That's so fine.
Yeah, hopefully,
Justin Herbert running the option.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, they're both going to get hurt on the same play.
Yikes.
Damn it. No. Yeah, so definitely like that. It's you can kind of see the plan in these first couple signings, but definitely for all of our teams, there's a lot more time to sign free agents coming up. And then we're going to get into like the scouting draft season, and then end of April, we're going to more draft.
I think a lot of fans are worried that, well, not worried. I think some are worried and some are interested into seeing if he's going to shape the team after how he did at Michigan, especially the offense. But I think it's hard to like just shape that because now you have Justin Herbert, who's arguably top 5, top 10 in the league as a quarterback, who's got an arm. He can move. He's super athletic, but you're gonna want to emphasize using his arm because he's got really good arm talent.
For sure.
But you see now, like what he's like again, he picks up Gus Edwards, who's a power back. Let's go of Eckler, who was more of the receiving back out of the backfield. A real shifty guy. Stop, north south, north south, east west kind of type of runner, try to juke you out your socks, which he could do.
Beat you to the sideline.
Yeah. But now just Gus Edwards is a north and south runner. Do you guys still have Josh Kelly?
I think so.
So
Started a lot.
Right, another north and south runner out of UCLA. I thought Josh.
I feel like Josh Kelly is a north-south runner because he's not fast enough to go east-west. Like
yeah,
he looks.
He's pretty big. He's big enough, I guess.
I didn't think he was that big. Yeah, and then now like he's having to use his shoulders.
Yeah,
and, like UCLA. So
yeah,
be able to knock people over.
I think yeah. If they do change, if Greg Roman puts in a little bit more of that running style, I think Joshua Kelly, we'll see the Joshua Kelly that a lot of people thought they were going to see when he was going to take over at so as a Raiders fan and the AFC West with you, everybody's just on pins and needles to see how Jim Harbaugh comes in and uses a lot of the talent that's in there.
Hired all his friends.
Why, hey,
Greg Roman is back. He brought his defensive coordinator from Michigan. Definitely seeing stuff coming out of the Chargers YouTube account.
With the scout that did the cheating.
He's not there. Confirmed, he's not there. The Chargers are like putting out a lot of content. Their social media team is really active anyway, but they've been putting out a lot of content with the coaches, kind of like getting them familiar with people, doing interviews, and really like pushing their faces and names out there. I feel like that's a smart thing to do, especially with like the uncertainty around new coaches other than Jim Harbaugh. Like everybody in the Chargers chats are like, yeah, Harbaugh we trust. I'm like, he's hasn't coached a game yet, but let's see how this goes. But it's definitely like
exciting, at least, right?
Yeah, it's not as down. There's opportunity, there's hope,
right.
Which is dangerous. It's the hope that gets you. When you realize the Chargers curse, it doesn't matter. It spans ownerships and coaching tenures and quarterbacks. But it's nice in this time in March to be like,
all three of us are cheering for teams with new coaches. So,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and we're all going to find out exactly how, things hit the ground. And it's cool to see where the team is kind of thinking in free agency, or going to see where they think they should be going when they pick players, when they draft players this April, when they start doing
off-season training. Off-season to go.
I know, it's day one.
Day one. It says
-2, actually.
Everybody's just excited. There was some big signings today, but a lot of it are guys that we thought were going to move quick, because they've been talked about as soon as the season was over. Some of the guys were talked about during the season, signing with other teams. So I think the guys who signed with other teams are guys we already expected to be somewhere else. And so that was fun. A lot of the top guys are gone. Well, Wilkinson's gone. Jacobs is gone. Barkley's gone. Eckler signed somewhere, or
quarterbacks are moving.
Quarterbacks are moving. We got to see Frankie sign somewhere, the top linebacker and free agency. I think Algier signed with I can't even pronounce his last name. Texas. He signed with the Texans. That's crazy because he was a really good linebacker for the 49ers. Was a really good linebacker. Was he with the Bucs this past season? Was he with?
I want to
Buccaneers.
Yeah. Was with the Bucs. And so now he's with he gets to pair up with Christian Harris, Will Anderson. They got good DBs on the defense. Their defense, as much as CJ Stroud helped the Texans last year, their defense was pretty good. So, it was fun to see a lot of the big games that we already knew were going to be somewhere else get to a team that now we don't have to wonder where they're going to be at. So,
yeah, nice. Yeah, we're finding out more and more, and I'm sure by the time people are listening to this, there's going to be even more signings. So, definitely excited to come back next week and break down even more of like exactly how these teams are getting new faces and new places and how.
What are you both hoping for in the next signing? Not the whole offseason, but the next, I guess, big signing you guys are hoping for, or the next best signing for your team. What are you both hoping for?
I'm hoping for a linebacker or a safety or a lineman. Any of those will do. We just lost Damian Lewis to the Panthers. He was all
I
right.
saw that. Yeah,
he was all right. It was straight like them spending $3 million on two guards is crazy. It seems like there's a little bit of dysfunction going on over there. But yeah, I'm looking for a linebacker. Because there's still a lot of safeties out there too.
There are. Justin Simmons still out there.
Yeah, so if we could get a star at safety, and then another maybe not star but a high level linebacker, that would be ideal for the Seahawks. I think a lot of people moved, like they were so active today, because if they did go to 18 games, when do you think that would be implemented?
Like what season, or like how?
Yeah.
Like at the
like what season do you think it'd be? Like right away?
I don't think it's going to be this one because I think the
schedule's already out.
Yeah,
is it?
No, like for like when they do vote on it, like at the end of the season, you'll have to pay the players more for that game.
For sure.
Getting everybody locked in right now, it's cheap, and also the salary cap is growing at a crazy rate. Like the last 2 years have been like the biggest jumps in salary cap per team.
I think they'd also have to. They'd have to give up a preseason game, I think. That's logical.
Okay.
If I'm the Players Association,
they play 4 already. Yeah.
I would say get another bye too. Like they're trying to get a second bye when they moved to 17 games and it got snuffed. And I'm like,
yeah,
that's a 20-week season.
That's another. I mean, but I feel like that would, even though you'd have to change, maybe only have one preseason game. Then if it's a 20-week season, that would definitely be like player health wise the best thing they could do, because they've tried to do, try to travel, like cut down on travel time. They tried to like cut down on how many road games you have in a row, but I feel like the algorithm just picks what's best for the league and the ratings and stuff, really. But definitely adding a second bye week, I know was big on the NFL Players Association's list, and the players were like, "Yo, what the hell? You just want us to did you want us to be a bag of soup at the end of the year, just broken bones, all messed up?" So.
The playoffs are gonna suck because nobody's playing.
Yeah, exactly. You need them to be there for those, the biggest games of the season. Next moves for the Chargers, I'm definitely hoping defensive line. I was hoping Chris Jones would leave the Chiefs, sign with us. I was hoping Christian Wilkins, and then he ends up going to the Raiders. Oh my God. So interior defensive line, I think we've had Morgan Fox there. We had Jerry Tillery. He went to the Raiders. We had Austin Johnson, Sebastian Joseph Day, or some signings from Tom Telesco. But yeah, definitely getting a blue chipper that can eat space, cause disruption, especially going up against Mahomes twice a year. You have to have kind of that irritant person, that Wilkins or that Crosby, who's willing to be a dick the whole game just to, try to get a couple plays where
just to get into his head a little bit.
You can't. Right. Yeah, it's hard to get him to like miss a throw.
Right.
But if you can, add something to that, get a little chippy. We've seen that he kind of gets mad. Like Mahomes will be like, "Yo, ref, why you letting him do that to me?" The ref's like, "What?" Yeah, but interior defensive linemen, I feel like our offensive line always could use more help. Definitely right tackle. But if I had to pinpoint a certain part, D tackle is what I want. And I also kind of feel in a trade back in the draft. But what about you?
The linebackers.
Damn, we let go of Kendricks.
Kenneth Murray.
Oh, Murray's gone?
Well, he's a free agent. He hasn't re-signed.
He's a free agent to the Titans.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Shoot.
Man,
yeah.
He has whole new defense.
Kinlaw's going to Jets from the Niners.
Oh, he saw. See, I was hoping the Raiders could have gone it.
Oh, man. We haven't talked much about the Niners. I mean, we don't have to. But, I mean, I feel like they're like the destruction of their roster, so to speak. I mean, because they've had all the big money. When will that come due?
I think they should. I think right now they're cool. They lost Eric Armstead, but I think they got guys on the roster who either filled in adequately or they believe they can fill in adequately with another year of off-season training. But if for the Raiders, they run, I would love another linebacker, but they run a lot of uh, two linebacker sets. So we saw a lot of Robert Spillane and Divine together, just them two on the field. They run an extra cornerback or an extra safety. So if they're going to go with that scheme, I would love to get Justin Simmons and have him play a. They can move him back to the safety and then have one of the safeties now play the slot, but they don't even need that because they have one of the better slots in the league right now playing slot for them, slot corner. So yeah, a safety or a linebacker would be great, but because the quarterbacks that you wanted are pretty much like who you would have been like Kirk Cousins would have been a guaranteed start. He would have came in and started. I still think like they could make a play for Justin Fields, but that's gonna be, I think if that happens, that's gonna be later into free agency. So hopefully they can come to like man, Justin Simmons would be perfect. I think he'd be perfect for them. That'd be great. And they could move someone else into the other slot. So
Mac Jones going for a 6th-rounder really makes Justin Fields affordable to every team in the NFL. Like that 2021 quarterback class might be the worst quarterback class ever.
Man, and I hate
all
it
got
because
starting jobs.
Who is that? Lawrence, Trey Lance, Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson,
Mac Jones,
Justin Fields.
I hate it because they're gonna. I personally like Justin Fields, and I hate that he's gonna be tied to those guys. Like with his value right now, like I get it, it's a business, but
he can stand out. It's not a big ask to stand out from that class.
Yeah,
like he's just got to.
Totally, you can see that he's the better one out of those guys. Like I would have said Trevor Lawrence, but he doesn't show up in big games. So, but yeah, barring
gotta beat the Chargers.
Barring a super surprise that
7-point lead,
one of those guys want to trade back, and we get to trade up. I'm looking for a linebacker or a safety. That'd be great.
What in the draft?
Jamal Adams is
in the next. He might work out though, because you could drop him down.
Let's boy.
And he could play in the linebacker spot because he's a really good tight end, and he could cover a tight end. He can
Jamal Adams, Derwin James. Ooh, that would be a killer combo. Just blasting the fuck out of everybody back there. But Jamal Adams needs to be healthy. That's the main issue.
Both of them could be like that, like take place of that line, those linebacker.
Yeah, you're
duties.
like, oh shit, which one's dropping down? So, I don't know.
Right. All you would have to do is throw over there and then.
Yeah, Alohi Gilman's back there, bro. Had like career high interceptions last year with like 2 or 3.
You're not gonna talk bad about a Notre Dame playing.
Shout out to Alohi G. All right, shout outs. Shout out sponsored by Jackpot Gummies. Definitely check out Indica Sativa. No, we're not sponsored by Jackpot Gummies, but I would take this right now.
People right now are like,
damn, this sums up. No, hey, but your business could be the sponsorship on any of these segments. So definitely hit us up. We're making commercials. Shout out to, as always, to our sponsor, Levasa Island Apparel. AINGA20 is a discount code you can use, AIGA20, to get a discount on your next purchase at www.levasaislandapparel.com. Definitely check them out. We're ready for them to be up here in July at Esther Short Park in Vancouver, Washington for 4 days of Aloha Festival, put on by Kikui Kui Foundation every year. That's going to be a blast. Great vendors, great music, great food, great shops. So definitely get ready for that.
She tries to come out and meet Eri and Va and find out what Levasa is all about and why he created Levasa. Just the whole energy behind Levasa is, I'm gonna let him tell it when you come out to meet him because it's beautiful. He's started something really great. So yeah, come out and meet them in July. We'll be there too. You don't have to meet us. We're not that great. But
we'll be around.
We'll be around. Probably eating, but
Yeah, we'll be on another trip to the food section.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely show out, support small businesses, and also Pacifica owned business and island apparel company like Levasa Island Apparel. I feel big time imposter with this shout out. Akira Toriyama. I feel like I definitely wanted to mention him while you guys were on. The creator of Dragon Ball passed away March 1st. There you go. We did a Way Back Wednesday podcast that's going to be coming out this Friday on Dragon Ball with one of my friends, Michael Hodges, and then also Cepha M. And they were going in, two big Dragon Ball Z fans. And I was just like asking questions. I was like, oh, so the Destructo disc, what does that, what forms from that? They're just breaking everything down. But yeah, you could see kind of the passion and the fandom and the love that Dragon Ball has garnered, not just with these guys, not just, online, but throughout the world. Like literal countries were declaring days of recognition or like holidays when he passed away. And
the cartels declared peace in Mexico.
Yeah, see? That's like the whole world recognizes how big Dragon Ball is and how much Toriyama was, a reason for that and the work that he did. But you guys, Dragon Ball Z fans, right? Or Dragon Ball fans?
Yes, sir. All of it.
Man,
Dr. Slump.
And I'm like the
Dr.
oldest.
Slump.
Yep. I'm the oldest out of all of us. So like that started, I was like 9 or 10 when it first came out. So for a lot of people, that's your first anime. They have movies like Akira, of course, if you're like super like in the anime.
Yeah.
Akira and stuff like that but there were movies. This would probably be your first series that you got into. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, yeah, Naruto, but Dragon Ball. Even if you were one of those Toonami kids, when you found anime was because of like Saturday night, Friday night Toonami, that was still one of your first. And by gosh, if you weren't one of those kids that waited for 2 episodes for the Kamehameha to finally come out of his hand, you know what I mean? And just
the suspense, man.
Right, the suspense. And you're like,
I'm so ready.
And you're like, man, I can't wait till he lets it go and it hits that guy. You know what I mean? It was great. And when you talk about how it affects a lot of people, like Goku was just, man, that guy was down for everybody. You know what I mean? Like,
is Goku Samoan?
He was so down for everybody. Like he gave hope to a lot of people, a lot of kids, So man,
Nice.
I've never wanted to fuse with somebody until and be stronger.
Oh shit, this might be kind of
Right.
I think we have similar power levels.
Yeah,
I was obsessed with Dragon Ball Z growing up. The Cell Saga, that really was one of my favorite. Gohan, son of Goku, he really. I thought he was about to take it over, but they were like, "This guy's the most popular Goku." We'll just because honest, like if you really think about it, Gohan was a forced child soldier, and that was traumatic for him. He's half human. The human side, trauma. He said, "I want to go to school. Fuck this," and so he did. But yeah, I loved it. Like even Dragon Ball GT, a lot of people don't like that one.
Man, that was pretty good too. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Then it gave you guys like Broly. Gosh.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that
I
guy
thought-
was sick.
he's like the biggest one on the video game that I can remember.
Oh my gosh. And then you got to watch the tournament arc was one of the best arcs in all of anime. Like,
Tournament of Power?
oh my gosh, man.
I learned so much. I learned so much in that one episode. We were talking. There was just so much information. They definitely mentioned the Cell Saga.
Majin
Buu was sick.
Majin, I mean, what's freaking Frank Ocean made a song about it.
I asked him about like the most powerful move. They were talking about the Spirit Bomb. I was like, "Yo, how long does it take to charge?" And they were both like, "Forever, 7 episodes."
Bruh.
At least
That thing was
Like,
bigger
damn,
than the aura.
he's just
of
up
his
there
Spirit Bomb.
charging.
It was like, it was gigantic. Like he was dropping a whole nother globe.
Yeah, he could talk to everybody too. Please lend me your power.
Right.
And everyone's just like
Take it.
praying for him. Take the mana. It's all yours, Woos. Mana. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, yeah. And even talking with you guys, yeah, you can definitely tell how great a show and how connected people were to it. So that's
and like all the other great animes and mangas are inspired by him. Like It was really sad.
Definitely.
Seeing all the posts from like the creator of Naruto, the creator of One Punch Man, like all these top tier animes were like Toriyama Sensei,
exactly.
Yeah, and I'm like, damn, man, like that's how you know you really made an impact on the world. And like I said, all of South America fucks with Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, for sure.
Pretty much everything south of Texas, like Dragon Ball Z, everything. But I guess like in their culture, they say, did you watch Goku?
It's just known as Goku.
Yeah.
SmackDown is known as The Rock Show. Like,
hey, man, that's like someone say to you, watch the new Rumble?
First Blood? What's that?
Wait, what? Stallone? I don't know what that is.
Yeah. So definitely rest in peace, Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball, 42 volumes, 519 chapters, spawning so many animes.
If you haven't watched it, if you haven't started, start it now. Video games. Oh my gosh. That was one of the first video games. Like when you started fighting, you could like
move around.
This way.
Right. It was like a free world video game.
Exactly.
It was pretty dope.
Yeah, not confined to just a 2D scroller space. That was dope. Yeah, those are my shout outs. Mike, any shout outs for this week?
Yeah, I'm gonna shout out all my family because it's like March is like the month of birthdays. So it's my mom's birthday last Wednesday, my dad's birthday this Wednesday, my grandma's birthday on Saturday. Funny little story. Yeah, exactly. I went to my grandma's like home that they live in, and they were having a karaoke day. And my sisters, I don't know why they did this, but they told my grandpa that we can sing. And literally, bro, we've only sang together one time, and it was for White Sunday, and it was the Bible, like not anything crazy. So they're like
harmonies, pitching.
I'm like, what? I don't even know how to sing, honestly, guys. I'm sure you're worse than me. So finally, we decided on a song. Granted, this is like everyone's over 80, and the only song that we all knew was "Juicy" by Notorious B.I.G.
Love it.
So like, I was.
If you guys are listening and you guys want to see this, please go to Mike's Instagram stories.
Yeah, it's there right now,
and you can find it.
It was ridiculous. Luckily, a lot of people were recording. The old folks, I don't know if they liked it or not. They were just like,
hey, man, they like that shit.
A for effort. I knew the whole song, so I was chilling, and I was singing the chorus. I was the only one, and my mic was the loudest, so I was like,
see, there you go.
Gotta
check out that video.
Shout out to my sister Katie, too, for winning her third state championship.
The champion!
That photo she took with like Kobe. Yeah, so she won 3. My other sister won 1. So we really out here. And then also shout out all the other Polynesian women that are playing basketball. That article came out, I think, earlier this week or last week about the Polynesian women in the NCAA by USA Today is Lindsay Schnell. And it was a great read. Love it. Love seeing us being showcased. Love our women being shown in a light that's not typical.
Yep.
Just really demonstrating that we can do it all. One of my friends, he said this shit that was hella funny to me. I'm gonna say here, I have no hate towards anybody or anything, but my friend said that Polynesian women are ladies' last chance against trans athletes. I was like, oh my gosh, you are fucking right. We're out here. No, I'm just kidding. Play if you want to play. Do what you want to do. But I just thought that was a very interesting note that he shared with me. I was cracking the fuck up.
Ballers.
No. Yeah, I did.
Forrest, any shout outs for this week?
Oh man, yeah. Staying with the basketball tip. Shout out to head coach Rena Ali, assistant coach Kristen Ali,
Champion.
and the champion Bishop Montgomery girls basketball of the CIF Division One varsity girls state champions. So shout out to those guys, man.
Nice.
It's Raina's second year there, taking over as head coach. Her and Kristen coaching there. So yeah, Raina got there, got right to business. Second year in, champions, So and I'm always the one that gets ahead of myself, and I was telling Raina, way to start that dynasty, and I'm pretty sure she's like, oh, calm down. Take it easy. It's not that hard to. It's pretty hard to win one. But no, yeah, Raina and Kristen do a great job out there. Coach Raina, man, that's my dog. When we get together to have fun, Raina is the life of the party. Let me tell you, she's so fun to be with. She's super great. She's super great with the girls. The girls love her. So couldn't happen to a better person. Great. Also, shout out to Frankie Luvu again for signing a contract that's well deserved. It's not true. I'm like, it's real going into off season. It's kind of scary for these players, I imagine, who are free agents. Sorry. Yeah, going into free agency, and they know that. But Frankie's one of those kids or guys that believes in himself, and the way he got to the league is the way he stays in the league. He's dedicated to what he does. Off season is never really an off season for him. Of course, he has fun because he got to let go, but he's always back in the gym, working with his trainers, and then you heard it in one of his reels that he has. He was talking to the kids that were about to go into the draft. Said things like, if you love the game will always love you back. The way you carry yourself is how people will perceive you. So when you walk into the gym early in the morning, say hi to the janitors, say hi to the cooks in the back, be a part of the team, be a part of the whole organization, And Frankie, every time he's out there, every time you see him, he just that's his whole energy. He stays prayed up. You see him, he's never ashamed to always thank God for the things he has, and real humble, man. A lot of his credit we'll always hear about the way he was raised with by his parents, and how his siblings have always been there for him. So it's really good to see, well deserved. And I'm not saying that a lot of these guys don't deserve some of these contracts. Highlight Frankie because Frankie's someone that we know personally, and we've seen him play.
Journey we followed.
Right, we've seen him play. He used to wear the ugly jersey that what's his name is wearing right now.
He used to be a little kid at Samuel Baptist.
No, that's exactly. Listen, let me tell you. I don't even know if he remembers this story. This is how Frankie's brother is like a brother to me. That's how they became family to me. Junior, I was in the store across, not too far from where the stadium is, where they play the AYF games, and I was grabbing some stuff, and all I see is a Gatorade and Musubi. For all of you who don't know what Musubis are, you're missing out on life. So I see a Gatorade and the Musubi fly on top of the counter, and then cashier is just looking at me like, you pay for it? I look back, and this kid with the afro and Chargers jersey, because he played for the Chargers, is like that. And I'm like, I know who he is because, me and his brother are super close. I've never met him. This is how I met him. And he's just like, shakes his hand like, yeah, you gonna get it? I was like, yeah, I got it. I didn't even finish paying for it. He grabs both things, runs out the door, goes, that's Forrest. I'm like, and that is Samoa in a nutshell for you. You know what I mean? Like,
that's big homie moves.
Oh man, the kid's so great. He's great with other people. Super humble. Always willing to give too, man. I can't say enough. He went back home and wrote a check for $25,000 before this contract, his last contract. Went back home to his school. Not even like it was his elementary school. He started donating at. So shout out to him, man. Well deserved for you. We can't wait to see you play for the Commanders. We get to throw up the W again for Washington, but he also went to Top 1. He was a Warrior. So ironic because the colors are the same. as his
Oh,
nice
true. With the W.
with the
Nice.
dub. So, yeah.
I'm saying the Commanders easily become my now favorite NFC East team.
Amen.
Over the Cowboys, Giants, and Eagles.
Right.
Hell yeah.
You know how people will say, I have a second team. Okay. Anyway, this is my second team now. So
Nice.
shout out to him, man, and shout out to Mike and his family. I know Mike already shouted them out, but it's incredible to watch again.
Ballers.
Bruh, the game was crazy.
Man, and he hit the 2 threes to put them over. You know what I mean? Like, that's, man, like,
Clutch.
it's
Kobe
we're not
proud.
right, and we're not saying she's like she was a champion, she's a 4-star. No, she led her team. She led them in points. She hit the 2 threes to put them over. Yeah, and then
29,
right, and then you got Megan
29 in the championship.
Megan put up 15 in that last game they had in their tournament, their conference tournament, which is crazy because Mike was saying that they kind of they weren't really playing her. She lost some time, and now this is what happens when you don't play people. And they put her in. She put 15 in. They got the win.
Yeah, and it's like conference tourney time, so
that's what I mean. It's winner go home. And if they win the tournament, they go to the championship. They go to the bigger tournament automatically. They go to March Madness automatically. So shout out to Mike and his family because that's great. And his little brother had an amazing career in high school too. It's great to see, man. Especially because you guys are of Ballinesian descent. So
someone did a drive-by on my brother's
nation.
Yeah, what
that's what we live through.
Yeah. Back to the normal programming. Someone did a drive-by on my brother's school today.
Oh no.
Yeah, he was in lockdown.
Geez. I'm glad he's not hurt, man.
Yeah, I was man, I gotta run up in there, dog. I don't care.
Yeah, you'd be like the mom that run past the cops to go into the school.
Driving right through the fucking.
Hell yeah! Get inside, as many of you as you need. Yeah.
So man,
America, the land of opportunity and lockdowns.
Shout out to little Nora, man, because anytime Nat sends me a video, she'll be cute. She was eating today, and Nat sends the video. She looked like she was trying to tell Dad, bro, stop recording.
Dad, can I eat the freaking 4 pieces of toast, huge can of corned beef hash, all this fruit,
and all that?
I'm trying to feed her as much as possible. Like, and she eats. So I'm just like, here, just share my food. Whatever I eat, you can have it. Just
I wish my cat shit that.
Yeah.
So that's my shout outs, man.
Also, thank you. Oh, I feel like a terrible dad moment right now. Her second birthday is this Saturday. So before we come on our next episode, happy birthday. Yeah, Nora. Oh my gosh, yeah. See, more March birthdays. Nora Jean Asalulu Falatomo, 2 years old. People have been asking her for the last year when we run up on them at Target or whatever. They'll be like, "Are you 3? Are you almost 4?" And I was like, "She is 1. She's 1 in 10 months." So now she's about to be 2. She's learning so fast. She's growing. She's climbing. It has been the honor of my life to be around and helping raise her. It's super dope. So shout out to her. She's going to be a baller. Definitely going to need to attend the FISO Family Foundation basketball training camp. That is dope. I saw someone post on after Garfield won. They're like, she got to change her name to Katie Forso. I was like, oh, dude, that's dope. That's hard. It's so much greatnwhat going around, so definitely want to highlight that, appreciate it, make sure other people know about it. And that's what we're doing on the show. Thank you guys very much for coming on, and also to everybody, thank you for listening. That is our show for this week. Continue to go out there, attack the day, keep being great. There are definitely examples that you can pull from, but you are your greatest example. You can do it. Definitely go out there and do what you do. Stay hydrated, stay blessed, stay ballin', love and light. Peace.